Hey everybody, Alleah here. We are talking today about 2 ways to become a vibrational match to what you want and a couple 3 critical nuances to be aware of along the way. So let's dive in. The reason why we're talking about this is because there was an Abraham Hicks Daily quote that kind of left us hanging. So here's the quote. If there is something you desire and it is not coming to you, it always means the same thing. You are not a vibrational match to your own desire. It always starts off this way. Once we have a desire, it's because we don't have it. So when we start off, we are always a vibrational match to not having it. So we have to, you can see, we have to then become a vibrational match to it. So the first way to do this is to identify the vibration of what you want and practice it. Now let's talk about this weird, spooky word, vibration. It kind of sounds like woo-woo, like I'm going to start talking about, I don't know, stars or moon phases. I don't mind that stuff. That's not what we do. That's not what I do. And that's not really a concern when we're talking about the nuts and bolts of law of attraction. So when I'm saying vibration, I'm not trying to be weird. It is just the word. So here, vibration is really the same word as energy, which is really the same word as emotion. So I'm saying the way to do it is to identify the vibration, the energy, the emotion of what you want and practice it. Because right now, you're being a little bit conditional. Right now, we all start off this way, right? Right now, we're saying that once I get the thing, then I can feel a certain way. Then things will change. And so we want to identify this emotional energy around the thing that you want and practice it without asking anything from the whole world to change. We're basically wanting to practice a new emotion with nothing else changing, because that means we are on the path of being unconditional. Now we're in control of our energy. Now we can manifest whatever we want. So here's the first critical nuance. When we are identifying the energy of what we want, let's say this is a new business. You want a new business, and now I'm saying identify the vibration of the new business and practice it. You might then be thinking, okay, well, a new business it would feel really cool to have a business. I would be really proud if I had this business. If I was running this business, I would be the boss and I would have freedom, and what's the vibration of this new business, right? So you can do it like that, but this is the nuance I want you to be aware of. This is how this is how I started off manifesting my business I've been running for 10 years, which is a wine importing business. In the beginning, I identified this emotion that was, how cool would it be if I was a wine importer? I'd be at a networking event. I'd say, hey, my name is Alleah, and yeah, I own a wine importing company. And that would be really, really cool. And so I kind of latched onto this. I anchored to this visualization. I anchored to this idea. So I'd be like, hey, my name, in my mind when I was doing the energy work, I would just be thinking, hey, my name's Alleah, and I own this wine importing business. And I loved this. It felt really good. And so I used that. So next thing you know, I actually have this wine importing business. Next thing you know, within a year, 2, 3 years, I'm at a networking event. I am talking to people like this. I am introducing myself. But at the same time, I still had a lot of other problems. And so if I go back and I look at, well, why did I want us to start a business in the first place? Why did I want to start a wine importing business? There was a couple assumptions. I had some problems in my life. I didn't have enough money. I felt like I was just grinding out a life. I was really stressed out at my job. And so I kind of had these assumptions that, well, if I had my own business, then I could make money. Then I could be free. Then I could really enjoy my life. And so I manifested a business, and all I got was the business. And so what I forgot to do, and then I learned, and now I've manifested differently ever since, is to identify the emotion that I would like to have once I achieved the business. And so if I asked myself this originally, I would have realized, well, I want abundance. I want the energy of so much. I want ease. I want really enjoying my life. So you can tell that there's a difference between manifesting the energy of, oh, it would be really cool to have this business, versus what I really, really wanted, which is it would be really cool to enjoy work, and it would be really cool to have abundance, and abundance would feel like, the so muchness of everything, and I would be able to enjoy my days. And how would it feel to enjoy my days? And so the long story short of this nuance is, really, when you're thinking about what you want, identify, how do you actually want to feel once you get it? If you're trying to do the money, if you're trying to manifest money, and right now you're saying, well, I want the money because it would be so nice to not worry. It would be so nice to pay my bills. It would be so nice to, to do this. You can tell that this desire, the energy of this desire, is still connected to the lack, versus being like, it would be so nice to just have plenty, overflow, lots, so much, so much, so much. If you're talking about wanting to manifest a lover, you might be like, well, I don't need, I want a relationship because that would be really nice to have a partner, right? It would be really nice to have somebody to do life with. And that's kind of, again, connected to the energy of not having it. And then you might ask yourself, all right, well, what is the energy of the relationship? But then let's really dive in. What emotion, picture it, you've got your partner, Sunday morning, coffee on the patio, maybe you're traveling, maybe it's just a Tuesday night. How would you be feeling? And that identification of that vibration is what you're really going after. So now we need to identify that and practice that, meaning you can use your mind to practice that. Now, here's the second nuance to this same tip. If in your pursuit to do this, if you are now doing this, you're following instructions, you're listing out what your problems in your life, you're making a list of what you want, you're checking your energy, it is your energy of the lack of it, is your energy of the having of it. Now you've went further, you've said, am I imagining the energy of the thing, or am I actually identifying the emotion that I would like to have? If in doing this, it's too difficult, if it is too hard for you to imagine the juicy emotion associated with having it, if the work is just continually reminding you that you don't have this, and you just can't seem to do this energy work in a way that is enjoyable, then you need to back off and go general. This would be saying that, hey, it doesn't even feel good to imagine what I want. And if it doesn't feel good to imagine what you want, you're too far away from it. So what we do is we start doing energy work that has nothing to do with our actual manifestation. It has nothing to do with our problem. We need to go general and generally feel better first. So we need to forget the lover, forget the business, forget the money, and say things like, how can I enjoy today? What can I love? What can I appreciate? Who can I love? What would be good for me? What's some self-care that would be really good? Maybe it's taking a walk. Maybe it's cooking a healthy meal. Maybe it's calling somebody. And the idea here is to generally feel better, generally raise your vibration. And when you do this for, I don't know, a couple days, a couple weeks, a month or two, when you're just letting yourself off the hook for manifesting specific things and you're just focusing on feeling better more of the time, then likely next time you go back to do the energy work on your actual problem, on the thing you actually want to manifest, it is going to be easier to do the imagination and it feel really good. So that's the thing, is when you're doing this work, you need to do things in a way that is believable and that feels good. And those are the two things. So if you're ever doing energy work, conjuring up imagination, trying to sort through things, and it doesn't actually feel good, then in that moment, if you're not feeling good, it doesn't matter what you do, you're manifesting the continuation of not feeling good. So that would be going general, get the vibes up, and then try to tackle that problem, tackle that manifestation. And if you feel like you can start doing it and feel really good, feel inspired, awesome, stay there. If you get kicked back and you then are reminded again and you just can't grasp hold of a good emotion while looking at whatever you want, then come back and just stay, have a general feeling good strategy on everything in the world except for the thing you really, really want. Okay, tip number 2. So that's one way, right? This is one way to become a vibrational match to what you want, which is identify the vibration of it and practice it. Pretty simple. The next one is what Abraham says is the easiest. I like the other version better, but Abraham says this is the easier version. I do like this version, and it is basically reducing resistance by slowing thoughts, which will slow resistant emotions via the M word, meditation. Some of you are like, yeah, I love meditating. Some of you are like, nope, can't do it. Can't do it. So if that's you, if you just shuddered by me saying the M word, just recognize that and realize that you have some resistance here. But I'm telling you, Abraham is saying that this is the most powerful way to do it. And I have experienced a lot of power from it. And I do it, even though the other way is my preference. So what is the idea here? The idea is that when we meditate, and there's kind of two versions of meditation. I like to do energy shifting meditation, which is consciously, I do guided meditations on Monday morning. You can actually sign up for them in the About section. There's a link to sign up for all my free events, so you can go down there. I do these meditations on Monday morning. They're not really meditations. They're guided energy shifting sessions. I still call them meditations because it's a block of time where we're working on our energy, and it's really good. But what they're talking about is like formal, that's not the right word, the version of meditation, which is actually attempting to calm the thoughts. Now, did you hear that word, attempting? That was intentional. Because none of us, even me, I've been meditating for years, doesn't mean that I sit down and have no thoughts for 15 minutes, okay? And I've been doing this for a while. So really meditation is the attempt to slow thoughts, identify thoughts, release thoughts, and over time build up more and more space in between thoughts. And so in your 15-minute meditation, maybe you're actually achieving just several periods of 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 1 minute, 3 seconds of periods where you are slowing thought. So it's the meditation here is the building the skill of calming thoughts. So the idea here is to 15 minutes, listen to something ambient, a fan, a clicking noise that's down the hall. For me, if I really don't have thoughts, I actually still have a sound. It kind of sounds like a TV static. So for me, I'm trying to listen to the sound of silence, which is like TV static. So the idea here is that for 15 minutes, you try to focus on something, a candle, a fan, and you're focusing in that point, you're focusing so you're not thinking. And so in the moments you're not thinking, you have zero resistance. In the more and more periods of time you can introduce into your life with zero resistance, the more you're tapped into pure positive energy and allow everything you want to come to you. So here's how this actually works, right? So in this moment where you are not thinking, you are connected. And I say something like, now you're allowing everything to come. It sounds like, oh, a big check is going to come, or, your lover is going to knock on the door. I'm not meaning it like this because manifestations come in several forms. The first form of a manifestation is you feel better. That new emotion is you manifested that emotion. So the emotion then turns to an idea. So once you feel better, you are now tapped into and can receive new ideas that match a higher emotional level. And when you get that new idea, and Abraham actually said this in a video I was watching the other day, is that when you are actually meditating and you have a generally low resistance factor and you get an idea, that is an idea very much worth paying attention to. So you're meditating, you get these ideas, and then you kind of feel like doing them. You're like, that's a good idea. You identifying that a new thought came in while I had low resistance, and it seems like a good idea, is the next step to the actual physical manifestation. So you get the idea, it seems like a good one, it's not very hard to do because you just feel like it, it's an inspired idea. And as you take inspired actions on inspired ideas, that is how your path is lit to getting what you actually want. So it goes manifest emotions, manifest thoughts, take inspired actions on inspired thoughts, And then that is how the process of the physical stuff comes to us, and how the universe aligns the right moments, the right people, and gives us the energy to do what is needed to actually get the stuff. So here's the nuance here. The nuance is that if this is difficult for you, don't worry about it, because if you start practicing over and over and over again, you will get better and better and better at this. So this is a great way to realize that this is reducing resistance. You can also reduce resistance by deciding to stop caring about something and kind of claiming, you know what, I'd like to reduce, I'd like to stop pushing. So you can also do that way. But really the key here is that there's an opportunity to become a vibrational match to what you want by literally just reducing resistance through meditation and then listening to the process I just described. So that's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of nuancey work today. So if you're brand new to law of attraction, you likely are not watching this video anymore, because likely that was too much. But if you made it to the end, that means that good job. You are at the stage where you are learning the deep nuances and are interested, and that means you're pretty far on your path. So if you haven't by now liked the video or subscribed, that would be awesome. Tells YouTube we're doing good stuff. YouTube will dish this out to more and more people. But in addition, I teach live every week. So I have live study groups on Sunday nights. I do live meditations and other stuff all throughout the week. So I am a coach. I do have programs, but I also have a lot of free stuff in the community because I love teaching this to you guys. Obviously I do, right? This is having fun. I have so much fun. So if you would like to be notified, then go down. There's a link to the free events and you sign up, and then you will have access to all the free events. So if you have any questions, you can also email me. Have a great day. And remember, you can become a vibrational match to your desire. 2 easy ways. Either identify the vibration and practice it, or reduce resistance through meditation. So have such a good day, and I will see you guys later.